Hey, it's Miss Lauren here, and I'm going to show you how to make a train with a box, empty box, it can be cereal, whichever, some scissors, and tape or glue. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do with my box is open the bottom of it. Then I'm going to take it, you can kind of flatten it if you want, and I'm going to cut along any one of the long sides here. Actually, for this one, it's not a long side, but any one of the folds, the long folds. Okay. So when I do that, it gives me one big flat piece. So two big square or rectangles and then two thin ones, like that. Okay, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is, so you can cut off this front one, but actually we might not need to. So I'm gonna stop cutting for now, and I'm going to draw. So I'm gonna take my marker, and I'm gonna draw a couple lines here. So the first line is going to go, and if you have a ruler, you're welcome to use it. It'll make it a little bit more even. If not, that's okay too. You can just kind of guesstimate. All right, let me see if I can find my ruler though. So I think that might be helpful. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is make a little dot on the very end of how high I want the front part of my train to be. And I'm going to fold it up. So I'm going to fold back this end fold over here and match these two sides up so I can see where that same mark is that I made. And I'm going to make the same mark here. So we have it on two places. So I'm going to take my ruler and line it up. Try to keep it nice and even. Keep that going all the way across. Okay. All right. All right, so I've got one long line going that way. Then I'm going to make another line up here. Let's see, I don't want mine to be too big. All right, and if you have a ruler and you do want to actually measure it, you can try to make this a little bit more accurate. But if not, it's not the biggest deal in the world. So I'm going to make mine just a little, about 3/4. Okay, so then from the end of these lines, I'm going to make a straight line down. And you can stop if you want at the first line you made. Okay. And then we're going to go over to the end. And you're going to make a square or a rectangle towards the end, but not right at the end of your box here. And then I'm going to take my marker, I'm going to go from the bottom left corner of that rectangle and go all the way down to the bottom edge of this fold right here. Use my ruler to make it straight. Again, you don't have to use a ruler. That's totally fine if you don't. And then we're going to try to make the same one over here, but here, we're not going to use that flap right now. So you're going to try to make it about the same. And again, if you're using a ruler, you can try to be more accurate. You're going to make another rectangle over here. And then same thing, we're going to go from the bottom right-hand corner this time, because it's going to be a mirror image, to the bottom corner of that fold. Okay, connect those. Now we're going to draw, you can draw on the fold, straight up from there. All right, so now if you want, you can decorate your train. This is going to be the engine. If you want, you can make a little window. And the conductor. And then since this is the other side, let's see, that would be the back of his head on this one. So I'm going to give him some hair. I'm trying to make it the mirror image. So I'm going to do it the opposite way. All right, here, we'll give him some spiky hair over here too. All right, so there's our conductor, and then you can color it in if you want. Let's see. So it's going to do a very brief coloring in of where our train is, which parts are going to be our train. Okay, so I've got everything under this line pretty much, between it or whichever. If you want to get more creative with the shape of your train, if you want to make like a little smokestack thing, that's fine. It's up to you how you want to make it. If you want to make it more complex, or if you want to keep it pretty simple, that's fine. But you want to make sure you do a mirror image on the other side of the box. All right, so now if you want, you can take another color marker, pencil, whatever you're using, and outline the part that we're going to cut. So I'm going to use purple. All right, so we're going to start from our very bottom corner. I'm going to trace up to that bottom right corner of the rectangle, and if you want to go from the other side, that's fine too. But we're just tracing the outline of our train. And this is what we're going to cut next. And it doesn't matter which side you start on. Just want to try and trace those lines. Okay. All right, so when we cut, we're going to start with one side only. Okay, I'm just going to start on the right side. It doesn't necessarily matter which side you start on. I'm going to follow that outline that I just drew in a different color. Right, and then on the other side, I'm only going to cut down on this top line right here. Okay, so now we're going to start folding, and we may need to cut off some more pieces of our box, but let's take a look. So let's see. So we're going to fold all the folds that are already there the other way. So we're going to kind of fold them backwards. Okay. And if you did keep those bottom flaps on, you can go ahead and tape them or glue them shut. Tape roll. Okay, we'll see. This is my second attempt at a train, so we'll see if this works. All right, so I've got my bottom taped together, so that's going to kind of stay. And then what I'm going to do now is take my color and I'm just going to draw a line this way so that there's a little space. It can be a little bit bigger if you want. You just don't want it to be too big. But a line going this way, and we're going to cut off this extra part. Okay, and while we're doing this, we're also going to draw a straight line down. We're going to continue all of the vertical lines so that they go to the end of the box. Okay, and we're going to cut those. We're going to cut them all the way until we get to a horizontal line. Okay. So we've got our one side that we already cut out. We've got the side of our box is still together, and then we've got the other side where we've cut the vertical lines on our train. So now we're going to fold each along the horizontal lines. This one, I end up just cutting this one off. So this very front part that's angled, let's try just cutting that off. There we go. All right, so now we're also going to fold down this side panel here at the horizontal line. So this is going to be our roof of the train. All right, and then you can start to glue or tape these on. And I realized too, if when you start, if you want to make, maybe leave like a little extra space on this side too, then you'll have two flaps you can glue. So either way, and this is just kind of trial and error sometimes. So we'll give this a try. And we'll learn from our mistakes so that the next time we try, we can do better. Okay, so I'm just using my tape on the bottom of that panel, or that little flap that I made. All right, and then we can tape on the outside. I don't have any clear tape, so my train is going to be a little blue. All good. All right. And so before we take that, we could have measured here to see. So you're going to make a mark on this panel, right where the edge of that little square is, that corner. Both sides. Go across, connect the dots. I'm going to fold that one down. Okay. And if we keep our flaps on, it does kind of work out like that. So, and if you do want to decorate this before you start folding, that might be a good idea. And depending on the size box you do, it might not work out this well. So you may still need to kind of measure it at each corner, make a little dot on each side, connect the lines, or to connect the dots with a line, and then you're going to fold this flap all the way along so that it creates the top. I'm going to make my little conductor over here. He's facing this way, so I'm going to give him some hair this side, ear, eyes, smile. All right, there's my conductor. So again, it's going to be a little different depending on the size box that you make or use, but you're just going to kind of use those extra flaps to finish making the top of your train. All right, we've still got our thin flap from this side. We can cut that, or you can leave a little flap on it too. Let's see, I'm gonna put it on this side. So I'm gonna tape it to the bottom. And again, I'm just going to kind of use my marker to mark where those corners are. So kind of gets in the way a little bit with that one. May have to fold it a little bit to find that spot. And it's actually just about, oh yeah, it should be also where we drew that first line. So I'm going to fold, this one's going to be folded up to match the body of the train. So just fold it a little bit up. And then I'm going to make my mark at the top of that corner on either side. Connect the dots. And that's going to be a fold down. I'm just taping as I go here, but it may be easier if you measure them out before you tape. Let's see. So I'm gonna look and see where that corner edge is. Right here on this side. And then over here. Right here. I'm gonna connect those dots. And then fold. Again, it is okay if it's not perfect. We're not striving for perfection here. We're just having some fun making a train. And we learn if we make mistakes. Let's see. Yeah. And then, so this one I may want to try to fold before. So this would be where it would be easier if I did not tape it first, because then I could just hold this up along here to see how long that side is. So I'm just going to estimate. Let's see, and I can always take another piece of something, put it up next to it, and there's already a little dot here, so I'm going to make another dot and use this kind of as a ruler to see how far I need to make this dot. Okay, let me see if it's the same over here. Yeah, pretty close. That's close enough. All right, and since this already has a top, I'm just going to cut this off. I'm going to draw a line to connect them. And this time I'm going to cut that off. And fold on that line. And then I can tape together. So definitely not perfect by any means, but that is fine. Okay, I can try and color it some more. I can decorate it. If I want, it might be easier again if I do that before I tape it and cut it and everything. But let's see, I'm gonna give it some lines here. So this is the smokestack. I'm just gonna draw a little square there, rectangle actually. Yep, color this in. All right, and I could make some wheels if I wanted, or I could just draw them in. This, something like that. And they're all connected, right? All right, so there is my train. All right, so here's my train. Not perfect, but this is the first, well, actually, I guess second. So the last time I did it, I didn't completely finish it, but I made a little paper train. So I still had a few more parts to go. But yeah, here is my box train. So again, doesn't have to be perfect. It's just fun to make something for yourself and practice your different skills like cutting and drawing and taping and all that kind of fun stuff. So I hope you had fun. I hope you made a good train. You like it, or if you made some mistakes, I hope you learned from them, like I did. So I hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time.